So in this lesson, we'll be looking at simultaneous equations and solving them using graphical solutions. So let's look at an example here. In number 1, we're asked to solve the simultaneous equations y equals 2x plus 2 and y equals x minus 1. Well, to use a graphical solution, we need to draw them on a number plane, don't we? So let's look at them one equation at a time. Y equals 2x plus 2 first. We'll draw ourselves up a table of values there, our x values across the top row, y values across the bottom. Now it's a straight line, so we only need a few values here. We'll put x equals 0, 1 and 2 into our table there. So let's sub in now x equals 0 into our equation. 2 times 0, that gives us 0, doesn't it? Add 2 to it, and we get 2. Subbing in x equals 1 now, 2 times 1, add 2 to it, and we get 4. And then lastly, x equals 2. Subbing that in, 2 times 2 plus 2 gives us y equals 6. Alright, let's give ourselves a number plane here and we'll plot these points onto it. 0, 2 firstly. Well, if we go across 0 and up 2, that's going to give us this point here on our y-axis, isn't it? Then 1, 4, go across 1, up 4, that'll be this point here. And then across 2 and up 6. That'll give us our third point. Now when we join these points together, don't just join the 3 dots. Join the line and extend it. So it fills up your full number plane there. Arrows on either end of the line and label our equation. Y equals 2x plus 2. Alright, let's look at our second equation now. Y equals x minus 1. Do a table of values again and we'll use the same 3 x values, 0, 1 and 2 there. Now let's sub these x values in. X equals 0 into our equation. Well, 0 minus 1, that just gives us minus 1, doesn't it? Subbing x equals 1 in now, 1 minus 1, even easier, we just get 0. Then subbing in our x equals 2, 2 minus 1, well, y comes to be equal to 1 there. Now let's put these points on our number plane, 0 minus 1 first. We'll use a different colour for this line, just so it's easier to see. So across 0, down minus 1. There's our point there on our y-axis. Next one, across 1 and up 0. Well, that one will be there on our x-axis, won't it? 1 unit across. And then across 2 and up 1, this point here. So join our line up, extend it out there. Arrows on either end. What have we got to do again? That's right, label the equation. Y equals x minus 1 there. Now look at those 2 lines. What do we notice about them? They both cross over here, don't they, at this point? Well, what's the coordinates of that point there? If we go up to our x-axis, we can see the x value is minus 3. And then across to our y-axis, we can see the y value of the point there is minus 4. So that means that the point of intersection has the coordinates minus 3, comma minus 4. Well, how does that point there help us? Well, that point there is actually the solution for the simultaneous equations. So we can say the solutions to the equations y equals 2x plus 2 and y equals x minus 1 are x equals minus 3 and y equals 4. Excellent work. It's a fair bit easier sometimes, I think, than working your way through the algebraic solutions for these, isn't it? Well, let's try another one of these. So in number 2 here, we're asked to solve the simultaneous equations x minus y equals 2 and 2x plus y equals 4. Well, looks like almost the same sort of question, doesn't it? But our equations are written a little bit differently here, so let's just be careful. Write our first equation out, x minus y equals 2. Just have a look at that. Well, we're usually used to seeing our equations written so that y is the subject of the equation, isn't it? It's written as y is equal to something. So let's try and rearrange it to get that y by itself. So we're going to get this minus y here and plus y to this side of the equation. And we'll also plus y to our other side of our equation. So over here, the minus y and the plus y, well, they'll effectively cancel each other out, won't they? Leaving us just with that x on the left-hand side of our equal sign. And that'll be equal to this 2 plus y here. Alright, so trying to get the y by itself, got to get rid of our 2. How can we do that? Yeah, we can take away the 2, can't we? Just remember though, take away the 2 on the other side as well. So over here the 2 and the minus 2, well, that gives us 0, leaving us just with our y. And that'll be equal to this x minus 2 here. Well, that's much more familiar to us, isn't it? Y equals x minus 2. So let's draw ourselves up a table of values. We'll use the same values we did in question 1, x equals 0, 1 and 2. Now let's sub these in. Subbing in 0 first of all. Well, 0 minus 2, that'll give us minus 2 as an answer. Subbing in x equals 1 next. 1 minus 2, and that'll give us y is equal to minus 1. And then lastly, subbing in x equals 2. 2 minus 2, that's just 0, isn't it? Alright, so we'll draw up our table of values. Now we'll plot our points in, starting with 0 minus 2. So across 0, down minus 2 gives us this point here on our y-axis. 1 minus 1, across 1, down to minus 1, this point here. And then 2, 0, across 2, up 0, this point here on our x-axis. Now we join our line up, remember to extend it out, arrows on the end, and label our equation. Notice we use the original version of the equation there, x minus y equals 2. Alright, let's look at our second equation now, 2x plus y equals 4. Well, once again, we've got to try and get this y by itself here. Well, it's at least a positive y this time, so how about we just get rid of the 2x now? How can we do that? We can just take away 2x, can't we? So take away 2x on both sides of the equation, and on the left here, the 2x minus 2x, well, that gives us nothing, doesn't it? So we're left just with our y there, and that'll be equal to this 4 minus 2x here. So we'll draw up our table of values and plot our points 0, 1 and 2 into that equation there. So starting off with x equals 0, 4 minus 2 times 0. Well, that just comes to be equal to 4. Then subbing in x equals 1, 4 minus 2 times 1. We'll put that into your calculator. You won't have any problems with order of operations then, and you'll get 2. And then lastly, subbing in x equals 2, 4 minus 2 times 2, that gives us 0. Let's plot these points now. 0, 4, so across 0, up 4 there on our y-axis. 1, 2 will be this point here. And then lastly, 2, 0, across 2, up 0 gives us this point here on our x-axis. So we join our line up, don't worry, our points up, extend that line out, arrows on either end of the line, and we label our equation 2x plus y equals 4. Well, where do these two lines cross over? Right here, isn't it? This point on our x-axis. What's the coordinates of that point? Well, we know the x value is 2, so the point has the coordinates 2, 0. So once again, that point 2, 0, that's the solution to our equation. So the solutions to the equations 2x plus y equals 4 and x minus y equals 2 are x equals 2 and y equals 0. Excellent work there. That ends our lesson on simultaneous equations. All the best now as you work your way through the questions.